You will be a god among men.
Well, hello, welcome back to another video. Now, the other day I stumbled across this on ModDB, F.E.A.R Remastered Collab, and scrolling down, it seems there's a potential 3 steps in order to get this to work, or if you wanted the full experience. So part 1, which is linked there, is the F.E.A.R HD Textures 1.1. That's uploaded by Riverez, who incidentally has done some very good mods on here, so I recommend you check his that link out. Part 2 is actually this here, which is the as I mentioned, the F.E.A.R Remastered collab, and then we have the third part, which again is linked. Part 3 is the master patch plus ray tracing. Now, admittedly, I'm still getting to grips with this. I'm not that familiar with reshade. I mean, I have used it, but I'm not very experienced with reshade or like some of the new ray tracing options we're starting to see creep into games. So I've concentrated mainly on the first 2 steps. So that's the F.E.A.R HD Textures, which is about a 4 GB download. And then I've gone and added part 2, which is like some more textures, a smaller file, about 700 meg. There we are, it says part 2. That's what I'm going to cover in this video, and then we'll take a look at some gameplay. And obviously, really, you can only get the full benefit if you witness it firsthand on a video, even with maximum recording quality, which I am using for this video. I don't normally, because it eats up so much file space. So to get the first part running, which is the 4 GB or thereabouts download, the F.E.A.R HD Textures version 1.1, locate the download, and then you're going to need to extract these files. I've just extracted it to a file on the desktop. Once extracted, it should look like this. And then you would just double click the exe. And I have used this before actually, now I've come to think of it. So as you can see, I've got the correct pathway. It may even select that for you, it probably will. And you can vary on the level of installation depending on your system. And then just click to install. Now I won't do it because I've already done it, but that's very straightforward. The second part, which is by Remastered Retro PC, that's the 700 megabyte download I mentioned earlier. That's kind of like building on the HD textures further. And again, all I did was simply copied the download folder, HD textures, double click on it, and then copy and paste that into here and overwrite anything if asked. So it's again very straightforward. So that's where I've got to. I will probably look at this in due course, but it's something I'm less familiar with and I'd rather not rush it. Now I should add, I have added the reshade, which is mentioned in part 3, but that's all I've done, and all I'm using out of that is the blooming and HDR. There's literally nothing else being used. Some textures at first glance don't seem like that much different, but once you've been playing a while you should notice quite a big difference. And I found myself kind of getting drawn into the game last night, and what was meant to be a testing, it turned out to be more of a bit of a gameplay session. I think some of the reshade effects are so minor, it's hard to tell the difference. Yeah, like on that door there, that definitely looks better. So I don't know how much of this is going to be conveyed well through a video, but hopefully you should see some benefit to it. Turn up the volume slightly so I can hear what's going on.
All elements be advised that Echo Zero isn't responding.
Now, I was waiting for him to come through. He took his time. Very unpredictable. The AI in this, it's possibly the best I've ever seen in a game. Maybe with the exception of Stalker, possibly. Actually, it probably is better than Stalker's. It's probably the A-Life in Stalker which makes it seem so varied. I always forget how many are out there. Is it two? Or there's one. One or two. Yeah, there's just generally more detail. No, I guess that's it. And yeah, you'll see on the wood, depending on the lighting, but you'll see it just sort of leaps out more at you than it did before. Performance, it feels quite smooth. I mean, I am recording, so you have to bear that in mind, but it does fluctuate quite a bit, but it feels pretty smooth regardless. And about what you're seeing now, about 50 is about as low as it gets on my mid-range system. and you may well find that you'll get a crash. I'm using Windows 11, which,
What was that?
to be honest,
Oh shit!
I haven't had that many crashes really with this so far. It's early days, but can't say I've really had any major issues. It has crashed, but not that much. It seems to crash, if it will crash, it tends to crash on a level transition. Providing you save, you'll be fine because the game doesn't take long to load. What with it being so old. And it doesn't happen on every transition, so you should be okay.
You have one new message.
Yeah, this is Chet in accounting. Nobody seems to know what's going on, but we've been hearing a lot of loud noises. Have you guys heard anything over there?
End of messages.
I always enjoyed listening to the messages on F.E.A.R. a lot. Really good. I think, in some ways, I think it's one of the greatest shooters ever made. Especially from a story perspective. Yeah, the everyday kind of like walls that you get in the game, they really do look quite a bit better, actually. Definitely got more detail and character to it.
Check the upper floor. Yes, sir. Check it.
I don't know where they've gone. Probably upstairs. Usually you get one coming through the door, but you never can be sure in this,
Look out, grenade!
never can take it for granted, because you're never quite sure how things can go. As I say, because of the AI is not that predictable.
Target sighted! Oh shit!
So yeah, that went, for example, very different to how it did yesterday. I believe there's also a text mod for F.E.A.R, which makes the annotations larger. But I haven't used that for quite a while. I haven't tried it in conjunction with this, but I expect it does work. I might link it in the description if I remember. I think pistols were always my favourite in this. Oh yeah, there's still some left. Let's try the SMG. I think that's all of them. So I think we're coming quite near to the end of this level. I can't remember for sure. I don't know whether there's much more to happen, much more to occur. I don't know. Yeah, we are getting near the end. It's this bit. This bit tells me that we're not too far off.
Someone there.
I always loved the attention to detail like that. But yeah, that's probably going to mark the end of the gameplay. Alright, it didn't crash. Sometimes it will, but if it does, just make sure you've saved, as I said before, and then reload, and then I've not known it do it for a second time.
He's alive.
Should I call in a medevac?
He doesn't appear to be injured, although I don't know how he survived.
Worry about that later. I'm reading Federal transmitter near that position. You gotta take that fucker out, fast. Jet, keep looking for Jankowski. I'm still reading his life sign.
You can't send him in alone, that's crazy.
He can take care of himself. Now move!
Now, just to quickly end on this, if you see like incomplete textures or a headless Jinn,
You better get going.
then you can try reloading the save, but the best thing to do is probably either just simply restart the game,
Work to do?
or if it's really bad, restarting your system will fix it. So just to show you, I'll quit the game. Back to desktop and then just reload. Alright, it took me back to just slightly further back than I thought it would. But it won't take long. I won't even bother collecting the health power-up. I don't know how it would like work with the way the game's made, but I sometimes think the running speed's just a tad slow. I should have quick saved before I exited the game. That was a bit silly.
He's alive.
Should I call in a medevac?
He doesn't appear to be injured, although I don't know how he survived.
Worry about that later. I'm reading F.E.A.R transmitter near that position. You gotta take that fucker out, fast. Jet, keep looking for Jankowski. I'm still reading his life signs.
You can't send him in alone, that's crazy.
He can take care of himself. Now move!
Yeah, so as you can see, without even restarting the computer,
You're lucky to be alive.
it worked fine. So, and thankfully, because of the age of the game, it loads really fast on most systems. It won't be a major headache, I don't think, for most people. So yeah, that shows it works. So I think just before I get into the next bit of action, that's where I'm going to stop this video. So links will be in the description. If you get further than I did with the installation, or you're a bit more familiar with that kind of thing, then drop me a line. And I would just like to thank you for watching this video. I'm your host, YellowSwift3, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye for now.
Tomcat, looks like I'm not gonna be able to send you any reinforcements for a while. My helos just got diverted to Armacam headquarters. Something big is going on. No shit, my people are right in the middle of it. I hear you. I wish I was calling the shot. Is it the same bad guys? Looks that way. I'm a little short on details. I guess this ain't a covert op anymore.
The dead man's name was Charles Haberger. I remember him. But are the memories mine or hers? It makes no difference. He deserved to die. They all deserve to die.